Here's the topic. You don't need self-doubt. See, get rid of self-doubt. Dump self-doubt. Doubt is the destroyer. And doubting self, like, well, what do I know? You know it all in the level of your knowing self. You are eternal wisdom. That's who you are. And remember I told you there's two kinds of people, thinkers and knowers. And thinkers are always analyzing and figuring out, but they're using the mind to do that. And this false mind, or this, what would you call it, fear and scarcity-based mind, is made of letters and numbers and symbols and formulas and dealing always with, in a sense, the material physical universe as an arena in which you can so-called play. And in one sense, it's also how we've been trapped in a repetitive situation that has brought suffering to humanity and to the animals and to the plants of the true and divine spiritual realm that we are part of. And it was like almost like we got sequestered because we chose to somehow. We agreed with it. And here's a key, is about agreement. When you agree with self-doubt, you then have to trust the mind, or you trust someone else to tell you what to do, to how to live. And what happens is there are people perhaps in your relationships that are always causing you to doubt yourself, that there's something wrong with you. What's the matter with you? Oh, you're crazy. You know, all these things. You go, well, yeah, I guess, what do I know? And it isn't about in a sense, the false ego knows, the mind knows, because this is an interesting thing about the Vedas and how they were written. And long time ago, ancient time, and yes, they've been infiltrated and all that. And once you know how to do your research as a spiritual sleuth, you can know what has been manufactured and what is an eternal truth. And what happens with this doubt is that it sets us up to make other people the authority, the author of our own story and of our own existence. And by saying, oh, well, you have to do that because you're a citizen of here, or you belong to this group or that group or this group, okay? And the problem with joining all these groups, you're giving your agreement. And agreement creates reality. You're consenting. And this self-doubt, which is saying, well, you don't know much because you don't have all these degrees that some other institution has given you to validate whether you're worthy or not, or you know enough. So you become then a parrot of an intellectual process that is based on false, because it's not based on who you are and the powers that you have, the abilities to have, and of your divine nature. And so then we're choosing then in every moment what we're going to give power to. And it's like also like right now you could think it, you could get up and leave where you're going, but you'd have an objective, maybe to get to the door or to get to the next place. And you'll get there if you don't change your mind. That means if you don't decide to do something else. And that's the very same thing in who you are and anything you want to be doing. You know, it's like, in a sense, we're goal setting, but it's not. You don't tell it like it's a big deal. You know, we're gonna get the winner. We're gonna hit the goal. We're gonna be the blah. No, it's like just to do these videos. That's an objective this morning. And we got ready for it, and we get here. Well, maybe we can't do it, or maybe we can do it, or maybe it doesn't work out the way we thought. But when you go with that flow, you're not remembering all your mistakes, all your failures, and having someone around you that's reminding you that you're stupid, that treats you like a child, that's condescending to you. And you might like that. You might think it's cool, but after a while you're going to want to get your power back because you think they took it, but you gave it, you see. And that then the work to do, and then we're all geared up that unless you go, get your education over here and they tell you what to do, you're not going to get a job in this place because this is what they do. What I noticed when I went through seminary, and they never really, I didn't really learn anything there about being a minister or having a spiritual center or doing my work. It was interesting, and I loved the people, and I was practicing my jokes, of course. And I knew what I was going to do. And they would say, we need a lot of men out there to do this. Well, that's good. But I knew, hey, I have a woman's body. I don't believe that all stuff. Because this is all lies. They're concepts. Concepts are lies. Belief systems are lies. Truth doesn't need to be supported or promoted or protected in that sense. It's a sense of knowing and who you are. So this self-doubt then, it's always, well, my religion's better than yours, and you better do it now. And people come out, I'm giving you this information now because if you people before didn't follow it and they lost their lives, but I brought it here. I'm the one who's going to give it to you, and we're going to be saving everybody. No, you got to save yourself from your mind. And that mind is always, it's plugged in to suffering. It's a machine. It's like a motherboard. That's why everybody's got the same thoughts. That's why I could do a talk and say, well, you're talking to me. Yeah, because I know who you are, because I know who I am. But I also know the other aspects, the apps of the thinking mind, analyzing, figuring out, judging. And it's a suffering-based limitation system that keeps you in a particular construct, like a box of little walls around, so that you focus your energy and your emotion and your thoughts on that particular scenario, that particular script. And then you're predictable. Someone's talking about, what if you had an AI machine that analyzed every single predictable thing in this reality? Well, so what? They don't know anything about the divine reality. And the reason why I dropped my paper, that's just so I stay focused in case because it's very easy for me to just fall off out there. But it's this self-doubt stops your own inner need to express and to be, and the greatest thing you can do for yourself now is to be that child, but and mature at the same time. That the joy of your own being, the need to play. You see some people go around grump all the time on their face, always angry, always they're suffering, and then you let these people bother you. Like if you have someone in always casting doubt that you really don't know, and you're a dimwit and all why are they doing that? What's their purpose? What's their aim? What's that? They're not nurturing you and empowering you. They're telling you it's not possible, you can't do it, and the way to do it, you have to do it this way. I noticed before my first book, what you think of me is none of my business. People tell, oh, you won't get any speaking engagements that you get till you have a book. I had tons of speaking engagements. Because I always want to tell you, this is how it is, and if you don't follow this, so see, well, it's even about the earth. And if we've found out that we've been lied to in every single aspect, why would you ever believe again anything coming out of those places? And if you are going to look, you could look to stuff that you can validate yourself from your own knowing. Because so much stuff we were told, there's no way you could prove that was true or false, in the sense of you don't have the equipment, you don't have the machines, you don't have the access to that electronic and machine reality that is giving you feedback on the way it is. No, but you have complete access to who you really are. And so it isn't a bragging thing that you don't doubt yourself. It isn't that, no, you could doubt the mind, because mind should be doubted. But if you're a thinking being, you doubt yourself and believe the mind. If you're a knowing being, you know yourself and you doubt and question whatever is coming to you from language, from imagery, from sounds, and be careful. Don't be singing all of these pathetic songs or listening to them, because they are programming you and getting you to agree to that, and therefore suffering. And it's self-imposed abuse and denial of who you really are. Now, how do you do that? You see, you have to be willing to live without this agreement. You have to be, and if you're in situations like that, get yourself away even for a couple of hours. Get yourself to a place in nature to actually meditate, or some way to actually do some soul searching and to really tell the truth. Maybe write it down. I used to do I'm doing writing of what's really there within yourself, and what you really know, and who you are, and what you really want to be doing, and how you really want to live. And then we're thinking, well, I can't survive if I don't tolerate this. No, you are an eternal being. You cannot not survive. And that survive program is called Survive and Multiply. And stop it, because that's actually what an invasive plant is programmed to do, is to survive and wipe out everybody else. No, we naturally get along. We naturally love and work for the welfare of all beings. Not that we need to be with everyone all the time or at anything if they don't resonate with you, but the key is you don't need and eliminate self-doubt. If you're going to doubt anything, doubt what you've been taught and what you're reading and hearing and seeing. Challenge it, question it, and then do your own work, and then you'll find that which is really spiritually logical and reasonable is always based on our own divinity and our mystic powers, and the best way is you've got to be with yourself and enjoy yourself, and now you become self-satisfied and self-empowered from the self that is the self of all selves, you see.